How to beat Balteus consistently and easy. I spent 30 minutes on this boss hammering my head against that stupid shield until I just swapped over to this AC and just beat him 9 times in a row to make a point. What did the trick for me was the combination of 2 elements. First, we've been going for the shotgun, the SG026 Heldeman, which is not really expensive. Alternatively, instead of the shotgun, you could actually go for the hand cannon, which gives you a little bit of range, but I'll explain why the shotgun is actually the better option. And that is because of our second weapon, and that is our pulse blade. Yes, we're not using the laser blade, we're using the pulse blade. And very important, the pulse blade that can do 2 consecutive swings, because it will just obliterate the shield of Balteus. But it also sets the pace together with the shotgun on how you're going to play. You're going to stick to his booty, and that's where your frame gotta be living up to the task. For our shoulder, we're taking a simple missile launcher. I do have the grenade launcher, but that was later acquired after the Balteus fight. So for this one, it's the missile launcher, followed up by the plasma missile launcher, which actually does help you nicely to break through that armor. I did try the vertical 10-round missile launcher, which also does a good job because as soon as the shield is broken, the damage that rakes up is quite fantastic. But in order to get the shield broken and to get Balteus more often staggered, the plasma launcher has been the better choice. Then a very important thing that gets overlooked, and I want to mention that before head and core, are the arms. When you're looking at arms, you get to press Y to see the details and check the melee and the firearm specialization stat, because not every arm is actually made to wield melee weapons. Especially the Mine Alpha, for example, they don't really scale well. So I've been going for the standard Melander. But looking at the shop, there's also the Fiamisa, which would actually be better in that case for the guns we're playing, because recoil control we don't need since we use the shotgun. For the hat, we're just going for the HD012 Melander, and the chest is actually the CC2000 Orbiter. I would prefer to go for the Nachtwire 40E because that allows me to boost a bit more around left and right, but it's kind of overloading my EN, and the standard Melander core didn't give me the mobility that I was looking for. For the legs, we went for the bipedal option for the Nachtwire 42E, which is the light pedal leg parts. They give me a very good jump distance compared to the other 2 options I have, and just truly allow me to be just extremely agile, because my main thing is get close to Balteus, get into his face, start slashing him up. Every single time he stands still for a second, straight up boost into him. For the booster, I've been going for the medium weight one because I couldn't take my super lightweight core, but I do have to say I experimented a little bit with the BST G1 as well, and it gives you a little bit extra, especially as soon as you're able to make the EN load work with a Nachtrider 40E, but that overloads my EN, so I gotta be min-maxing there a little bit better. For the chip, it's the FCS G2 that actually has a better missile lock correction than the G1, so you're never going to be actually missing on your missiles, and you really do want to track him down so you break the shield just super fast. For the generator, I've been longest playing the AGJ, but I have to say that DFGN from Ling Tai made this AC just way better to operate. Playstyle with this AC versus Balteus, as you can see, is super aggressive, especially as soon as you start into the fight. The first thing you want to do is boost down his throat, because if you boost really fast, start slashing him up, you already have his armor broken super good, and you can double dash out of the way of the rockets. And this is kind of one thing you need to learn, that the whole Rocket Barrage kind of does. You just always charge through that. The only rocket you got to look out for is the red marked one, where just and then you got to dodge that one. But apart from that, whenever he stands still to go for the trillions of rockets coming out of him, you're always just going to charge down his throat without thinking a second. Even if you have to dash straight through the rockets and take some, you're good. You can do this, because getting the double slash in is so important. And after the slash, just straight up start shotgun spamming down his throat, because that does do the shield break, and that does do a good point of bonus damage. The closer you stay, the more damage your shotgun deals, or the less it ricochets off, and the earlier you can also bring in another melee hit. Phase 2 gets a little bit more tricky, because he first and foremost does the lava on the ground, and he can also go for the giant Jetfire Fuel Flame Blade that cuts you into pieces. One thing that I did personally is, after he goes swing with the blade, I straight up charge in. Like no questions asked, nothing. He goes swing, you go in. Sometimes he goes for a second swing, but with your rockets paired, like if you soften him up a little bit with your shoulder launchers, and well, you can use the shotgun on range, especially on the shield. It doesn't really matter because the shield breaks on any impact. You don't have to be super close with the shotgun and you get enough bullets. But if he does the blade swing, you just go in and you break that shield, you stagger him. And that is a consistent theme you got to go for that has worked for me tremendously well. Sometimes when you get unlucky as he swings, afterwards he does the lava on the ground and you essentially just dash right into that. Just have an eye out for it. But with your movement, mobility, and the EN recharge you have, you should be able to always get together on him there. If this was not your playstyle, there's a second AC that's absolutely cheesy, to be honest. And I call him my beef boy, who just uses double Gatling gun. Yes, the DFGA-08 on the left and the right hand, which takes a lot of energy. And then we have one missile launcher on the shoulder and the plasma launcher on the other shoulder. That goes together with the finder head. And then we need the big DFBD-08 chest to have the energy possible for this, together with the tracks running on the LG-022 with the Melender arms, because every other arm kind of almost EN overloads me. So we don't need recoil control or anything. We just need a good specialization on firearms so we can blast the opponent away. There's no boosters, the FCS chip and the DFGN-02. And very important when playing this build is you'll just absolutely blast Balteus away. You will obliterate his shield together with your plasma rockets and your normal rockets. But you gotta look out that you're not overheating with your cannons, because once you're overheating, it takes so long until they're deheated. So my best advice is use your Gatling guns until they're really depleted, until they're almost at the overheating bar. Then focus on using your rockets. You know, this is why I'm doing this, because I'm using a controller. Focus on using your rockets, and then continue Gatling gunning again after you avoided 1 or 2 shots from him to then keep melting him. And it is just so easy to get. It's probably the most cheesy method, honestly. I prefer the melee method because it feels a little bit more intricate and fun, but the cheese tang is super nice. Definitely tell me which one of these two went better for you.
Get clear. One repair kit remaining. Left-hand ammunition at 50%. Right shoulder active right. The enemy can't take much more. AP at 50%. AP at 30%. No repair kits remaining. Left-hand action.
Ladies and gentlemen, drop some AC inspirations in the comments below. What worked for you on the Balteus fight? And if you want to see more of these boss fight playthroughs, which AC actually works very good versus them, please do tell me, because I really enjoyed trying to find out the best AC for the job. Also, if you like this channel now, how about a very entertaining Renman 2 video?